So we got this truck door here. This is just one of the many props we have around Eastwood for testing products out or general usage. What we're going to do is we're going to put a patch in here, this area where the door handle was smoothed earlier. And I'll show you why, because of the corrosion on the other side. So there you have it. That's what the back side of that patch looks like. So that's something that we're going to cut out, replace, and then we're going to go ahead and put some weld-through primer and some epoxy on it, so this doesn't happen in the future again. So you can see where we have it. What I want to do, this factory line here, I want to stay about 3/4 inch from that. So there's our 3/4 inch tape. We know it looks good down through here. That's good metal. Here it's a little, there's filler there, so it might be a low, there might be something else under that, I don't know, but let's just cut that out. A lot of ways you can cut this. If you have a shop with a stop shear on it, simply do that and done. If you're at home and you don't have that, abrasive cutoff wheels, air nibbler, not too good for going straight, great for contouring. Air saw, again, nice for contouring, but not designed for long straight runs. The typical go-to 4.5 inch grinder with a fiber wheel. This is really nice. This is electric shear, same thing in pneumatic, same thing at the head working. That's good for getting you the nice straight cuts. It would work good for here. Where it's a little challenging is when we go to cut the door. So what we're going to use for this project is our new Eastwood panel saw. It's a pneumatic tool, obviously, similar to a circular saw in the blade rotation and the base. What we have on here is 2 laser etched guides, which will allow you to cut exactly on the inside or outside of your scribe line, depending on if it's the base panel you're cutting or your patch panel itself. We've teamed up with probably some of the best blades in the market here. You have this Lennox diamond wheel that comes with the tool. You have adjustable guide stop, which we'll show later on here, that'll let you cut just the top piece of a 20 or 18 gauge if you're coming over any type of bracing or something you don't want to cut below, or simply cut right through up to 16 gauge material with it. So is it the fastest tool in the shop to make a cut? Going against a stop shear? No. Going against some of the other tools that we talked about there? About equivalent. Is it the most accurate? By far. And that's what we're after, is the accurate results. So you can see we cut a flat panel and we have a contoured door here. So we have to put some shape into it. But the nice thing is you line this up. It's just nice to be working with this accuracy on here. So I'll go ahead and contour this and then we'll check it again. This is the new Eastwood Mini English wheel. This is what we're going to use to put contour into our patch panel here. Basics of an existing English wheel, only scaled it down. Works the same. Nice thing with this is it's for the guy that if you're doing smaller patch panels that won't fit into a larger wheel. Also the guy that wants to get into metal forming and shaping but doesn't have the room for a large wheel or the money for it. This is nice here. This panel we said was but 9 3/4 by 11.5. That'll work nice in there. These wheels also index 90 degrees this way. So you could take a piece, if you wanted to do a patch and a rocker, maybe 3 foot long, you can wheel that through. In fact, that's what we're going to do on this one. Because as you can see, I hit the throat. And I don't want to do a little bit of it and flip all that. That's not what, so we're going to do, spin these things, and I'll show you how you can wheel it this way. So the wheels are now spun 90 degrees. Now I have all the room that I need. One thing to remember here when you're using your actual skin as your buck or your form is that you're working with material thickness and shape. So here's our panel. Looks good, but you see, well, that looks high there. It's only going to take that to bring it into shape. The reason, we have this huge low right here. So that's why it looks like it's dropping off. So I'll show you what the back side of this looks like. So here it is from the back side. So we know our patch fits now. And I'm just going to this tape no longer serves us a purpose. It was useful in determining our patch, but for the exact size, we're going to scribe our patch panel right on here. And I'm just using this Sharpie for one main reason, and it's, I don't like the MEK that's in die-cast. I guess so. Its sinuses, it's very obnoxious. Just let this flash for a second. Got some magnets just to help hold the position. So now we're ready to make this cut here. So again, what we talked about earlier, a couple different tools that you can use. Nibbler, which is basically a round punch, is great for contouring, and it'll go over contours. The drawback is you're controllable for your accuracy. And sure, you could clamp a piece of angle iron here and get that one, but you're not going to do anything over this contour here, so that's freehand. So that's not the best bet. Panel saw, great for a lot of stuff. Good go-to tool. But again, you have to start with a hole in the quarter-inch hole. And then again, however you can, the straightest you can use on that is drill it. Cut off, don't need a starter hole in there. But now you're dealing with, again, the fiber wheel and whatever controllable accuracy you have with it to the best you can do it. Angle grinder, same thing. Shears, I like the electric shear a lot. Again, what you'd have to do is come in here to about a 7/16 hole as a starter, get it in, and then get over there. What'll happen is as you start going over contours, because it's shearing like that, it's going to tend to want to straighten out this contour here. So then you have to work that edge back in. So that's not really the best. You know, file snips. Snips aren't designed to cut panels, hence the name. They're snipping edges. So you could use something like this, or you could use your cutoff, come in here, 3/16 or an 1/8 inch in, do your rough cut, and then come back here and do that. Snips, Same thing here. When you start coming up over the contours here, you can see the tool. You're going to be at an angle on the tool. It's not going to want to lay flat. Snips are designed to lay flat parallel against what you're cutting. So again, in these two areas here, what's going to happen is it's going to want to straighten this panel out, the main panel there. So then you have to work that back in. So out of all the tools, what's it leave? That's right, the panel saw. So let me show you how this one works. So I wanted to show this real quick. See my scribe line up there, and then you see right there are two laser etched sight lines. The one that I'm set on right there is going to cut exactly on the inside of the scribe line, leaving the scribe line so we'd have a perfect fit of our patch. I'm going to put a 3/16 relief hole in these two corners here. Two reasons. Gives my areas for the cuts to intersect, and then also gives a nice little radius. In the patch panel, what we'll do there is just break that edge there to fit. Just make sure that you're completely inside the lines. So a nice thing what you can do with this is you can accurately line up and plunge cut. Plunge through, go right there. The other thing with being able to control like that off the nose is, in the back here where it's two layers, I can come up, easily can see visibility of my wheel deck, cut through the one, go through, drop down, and then finish the cut. So that's why we're in here, to clean up that. So before we do anything, just see if this fits. Before we clean anything up in here, I just have a bunch of these magnets. Now what we'll do is just get the corners in here. Just keep working the perimeter. It's always good to have a free one right there so you can move the panel. I'd say it's a pretty damn good fit. I like that there. Once I'm welding this side, I'm going to have quite a bit of magnets here, and then MIG between them. Whether we finish it with MIG or TIG, we'll do whatever we want to do there, but at least to lock that in, to lock these two contours this way. So what we got here, I just took about an inch on either side of where we're going to weld and cleaned that up. Our patch panel, I just hit with took a DA, just did 60 grit both sides, in preparation for epoxy on this side. You can use a weld-through coating. I like using the epoxy coating. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some rust encapsulator on here, take care of that surface rust. And the nice thing with the bonding adhesive, I don't have to worry about it now because I can get up in through here. It's a large cavity in here. I can get some seam sealer right up in there to duplicate that. So I'll go ahead and prep this, get this on, and just start tacking it in.
Hey, we hope you liked that video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. There's also a link you can find out more information on the products we covered today. And if you're craving more Eastwood, head on over to Facebook and Instagram and be sure to give us a follow.